All right. Today is the fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Last night was the weigh-in. I'm going to talk about what I saw in the weigh-in and what we heard in the conversations, post-conversations with the media after the weigh-in, and make some pretty important observations. We're going to do that in this video. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the channel. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury is tonight, man. It's been a long time waiting for this fight to happen. As you know, Deontay Wilder and Tyson, this is a rematch, and Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder had originally fought. They had originally fought to a draw. Tyson Fury backed out of the rematch, signed with Top Rank, had a fight with a couple people, and now we're fighting again, right? And there was a lot of talk about what weight Tyson Fury was going to come into the fight and what weight Deontay Wilder was going to come into the fight. And that played a large part in, obviously, during the weigh-in, but a lot of conversations that took place after the weigh-in. And so I want to make some observations about that. First, Deontay Wilder came in, I do believe, at 230, maybe 231 pounds. And Tyson Fury came in at 273 pounds. Okay. Now, the thing that I found interesting about that is, one, at 231 pounds, Deontay Wilder's upper body looked the exact same as it did, pretty much the same as it did in every other fight. So if he put on 10 pounds, if there's an extra 10 pounds, it's probably evenly distributed across his body and more than likely in his legs and probably in his thighs and his legs, the place where Deontay Wilder can most easily gain weight because the guy has very thin legs. Now, I hear a lot, and Deontay Wilder made an observation about Tyson Fury too, because people say, hey, well, you got these skinny legs. And Deontay Wilder said, well, hey, Tyson Fury has skinny legs too. I would rather be skinny with skinny legs than fat with skinny legs, right? But so let me transition into what I thought about Tyson Fury's weight. I won't say that, well, first things first. Let's get all kidding and all joking aside. That's fat, okay? That is not additional muscle. That's just fat. That is most likely a result of him because he suffered an injury in his because he suffered some damage to his to the skin over his eyebrow last fight and he was ordered by doctors not to fight, I think there was a period of time where he couldn't exercise. He couldn't do a lot of things because if he did, it would risk opening up that, the injury and the cut over his eye. So that's why I think more than likely he ballooned up in weight. And I also think that they knew that he was going to be this big and he was not going to be able to get all that off. And so there was a lot of talk and acknowledgement that he was going to come in bigger than usual. But this was not some scenario where he was out there lifting weights and bulking up and putting on a bunch of extra muscle, because if that was the case, he would have taken his shirt off. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, every other weigh-in I've seen is always taking his shirt off. When you look at an angle from him from the back, dude, that's a bunch of love handles. His love handles got bigger. Now, just because it is most likely fat. I mean, I'm positive that it's fat. That doesn't mean that it can't go to some good use, because, you don't have to. Anthony Joshua proved that you don't need to look like a swimwear model in order to be a good boxer, right? You don't have to look like a bodybuilder. And matter of fact, looking like a bodybuilder can hurt you. But I just don't think that it is being very honest to say that Tyson Fury intentionally bulked up to 273 pounds. Now, I've also listened, I know these guys were being optimistic. So like optimistic and polite. Some guys were being optimistic and polite. Lennox Lewis, I heard him on the BT coverage of the weigh-in, and he was saying, hey, Tyson Fury says he's been sparring, at that size for the last several months, so he's adjusted to that. Now, my thought is, then why does anybody ever lose weight heading into a bout? Why would you ever lose weight going into a bout? Because if all it takes is you moving around at an excessive body weight and to get used to it and it wouldn't make any difference, then why would you ever train to make sure that you're in tip top, that your body weight is not too big? Boxers for in tapes and videos and interviews as long back as I've been able to actually see them, have been concerned about their weight. And that's heavyweights too. Heavyweights have. Muhammad Ali said before the Larry Holmes fights, look, man, I didn't really have a chance to train. I was focusing too much on, I had to lose all this weight. You have people saying, because now a heavyweight can come in as big as they want to be, but it doesn't help you carrying around a lot of extra weight. Now, if you intend on laying on somebody, right? You intend on laying on somebody, holding somebody, grabbing somebody, then yeah, the extra weight would be more weight on them because you weigh more, but it's also more weight on you. And this is, in boxing and most professional sports, it's a game of inches. These one guy's not usually so much, especially in a fight like this, so much better than the other guy that those things don't come into play. And another other statement that, like, for example, Sugar Hill said this. Sugar Hill said, "Hey man, the guy's he's 6'9". He can carry 275 pounds, no problem." So I went and looked. I was like, really? 6'9", 273 is not big? Let me look. So I looked at some other guys that are 6'9" and see what their listed weights are, right? And these are guys that have to run, have to jump, have to bump up against one another, right? And they do it for 48 minutes, but they actually have longer periods of times when they can sit down, and that's basketball players. So off the top of my head, I said, okay, let me think of some people I know are around 6'9", 6'10". Larry Bird is 6'9". Anthony Davis for the Los Angeles Lakers is 6'10". Magic Johnson, who played for the Los Angeles Lakers, is 6'9". And Larry Bird was 6'9", 220 pounds. Anthony Davis was 6'10", 254 pounds. Magic Johnson was 6'9", 220 pounds. That is what a fit athlete, even at 6'9", should be somewhere around and of course they have different builds, but you have guys like Anthony Mason, who was like 6 foot. I think Anthony Mason might have been 6'7", and he was listed at 250. And he was a very big and muscular guy. No, man. Tyson Fury is looking more like Oliver Miller, or what's the guy's name used to play for the Suns? The dude is just overweight, man. That's just, now he might just be. There are people whose metabolism and all that stuff work that way, but this is what I really think is the case, man. I don't think when he gained all that weight, I don't ever believe that he got that weight off of him in the right way. He got that weight off of him by carb depletion. Probably maybe some chemicals that help you shed weight, right? He didn't actually increase his muscle mass, which would increase his metabolism and allow him during the times that he's resting to burn more fat, right? To burn more fat. And when he wasn't able to run because of what happened to his eye, he ballooned back up. That's why there were complaints about Ben Davidson. They were saying, oh, he looks drained because he's always training. They're doing too much. They're draining him. Yeah, you drain because you're burning. When you carb deplete, and that's how you lose the weight by, calorie, not just carb depletion, but calorie. When you go into a big calorie deficit, some of that weight that you're losing is going to be muscle. But more than likely in 4 months, he didn't gain all that muscle weight back, if he ever had that muscle weight to begin with. But the dude looked big, and Kenny, I think it was Brian Kenny was the one, although he was rah for Tyson Fury and saying, hey, I think he won 10 of the 12 rounds. Brian Kenny, whatever. But he said, but does that make sense? Don't you want to be fleet of foot and move around and all that? Why would you change your... Look, more than likely, Tyson Fury, because of what happened to his eye in the orders from the doctors, was not able to exercise the way that he wanted to exercise. And as an added, and he also knew he probably wanted to come in even bigger so he could, because he wants to lay in Deontay Wilder, he's probably going to do that because Deontay Wilder, the last time he fought him, he felt in the ring that he could move him around a lot more easily. And because he was outweighing him by so much. So I think he wanted to just expand, he used the line that he wants to exceed. I mean, once you're in that situation, you got to go with what it is. You know what I mean? You got to go with what it is. That's how big it, because he gained so much weight. Deontay Wilder, on the other hand, putting on his additional weight, I really think that that's only probably a gain of about 7 pounds, because if you look at what Deontay Wilder weighed against Brazil, it was 223. What he weighed against Luis Ortiz was 219. So now he comes in at 231. That's about 11 pounds from the Luis Ortiz fight, but it's only about 7 or 8 pounds from the bout with Dominic Brazil. And he didn't look particular, and he looked cut. You could actually, and I, say that you saw it, but you could actually see, because how he was wearing his pants, that you could really see that there was nothing around his midsection. There was nothing hanging off of his arms. Brian Kenny said that he had never seen Tyson Fury's arms look so big. Like, man, dude, are you kidding me? The guy's got biceps, but you didn't see any definition in that. There's a bunch of stuff hanging on it. But anyway, we'll see what happens in the bout. I do agree with what they say, though, that Tyson Fury is a dangerous fighter in this bout, man, without a doubt. I've said a bunch of times that I favored Deontay Wilder to win, but I'm definitely not counting Tyson Fury out. It's going to be a good fight. I'm looking forward to it, and it is what it is. So let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.